Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, to another live episode. And in this episode, I want to share with you my top 3 business YouTubers, which I think you should subscribe to right now. That's right. I mean, you can probably guess, like I said, the names are on the board. And I've been fortunate enough to have one of them on the channel last week. And for anyone who didn't see that episode and you're watching the recording of this, the link is up here. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. Like when I first started YouTube and this sort of journey of trying to post a video every single weekday, it was, other than Gary Vaynerchuk, who is one of them, there wasn't that much great content out there that I could find that I really wanted to sort of get involved with, and to sort of that I could, you know, use to interact with. And there was a few like big entrepreneur channels, but they sort of died. They'd, you know, not been updated in 2 years. And yeah, there was, whilst there was some good content that was, you know, from a few years ago, there just wasn't that much there, you know, today. So with that said, I mean, I don't know if you're like me. If you're watching this right now and live, I see there's a few people watching. Say hi in the chat and let me know what you think, because I am also going to be asking for some potential recommendations as well. So I don't watch a lot of TV. I sure as hell don't schedule time to watch programs. If there's something that I want to watch, it's on demand. And you know, the Grand Tour is the one that immediately springs to mind. Yeah, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV. Now, I do find myself watching more YouTube than anything else. I certainly watch more Netflix than TV, but I watch YouTube way more than anything else. That's the channel on which I consume content, because it is, you know, it's everywhere I go. I can watch it on my phone, my laptop, my computer. But also, I don't want to, you know, a lot of the time I don't really want to be entertained. I want to learn something. I want to find something new. And someone who, so a channel which isn't in my top 3 list, but is definitely up there in one of the top channels that I actually watch, is the TED channel. I love TED Talks, and I find they give so much value. So again, sort of a shout out to the TED channel. But what I want to do, if you are an entrepreneur and you subscribe to this channel, firstly, thank you, really appreciate that. But I wanted to share with you like the top 3 channels that I watch on YouTube, people who are posting in 2 of the cases every day, and in one case at least a few times a week. Because I think it's great to get that sense of what other entrepreneurs are doing, and you can see what struggles they've come up against and what their days are like. And yeah, so with that said, let's get straight into it. So number 1, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the main business entrepreneur on YouTube right now. I've just got his page up, and the links to all 3 channels are in the description, by the way. Go and check them out, go and subscribe. Or if you're on my channel, they're on the right hand side in the little, I think I've called it channels I watch. It's on, they're all in there. First one's Gary Vaynerchuk. Like I said, link is in the description. He's now on 751,000 subscribers. 751,723. God, good with numbers. Yeah, so I mean, that channel, I mean, I think I first subscribed to Gary and he was in sort of 300 or 400s. So his channel is growing very quickly. And I'll be totally honest, I do not watch everything Gary Vaynerchuk puts out there. It would be nigh on impossible, because if I just look at his uploads, bearing in mind he's largely based in the US, 1, 2, 3 videos posted yesterday. You know, he's doing more than daily. You know, and I follow him on Instagram. I have him on Snapchat. Facebook. I can't avoid Gary Vaynerchuk. I consume his content pretty much everywhere that he posts it, but he puts that much stuff out there, and you know, I just can't watch it all. But everything that I do watch is fantastic. And I imagine if you're watching this, you probably already subscribed to Gary Vaynerchuk. It's the one that sort of goes without saying. And yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's sort of, for me right now, I think he's the guy. He's the entrepreneur. He's the business guy who's killing YouTube and putting good quality content out on a daily basis, multiple times daily. So you definitely want to be subscribed to Gary Vaynerchuk. And like I said, even if you don't watch all of it, you'll definitely get value from watching some of it. Now, number 2, Steve. You've probably heard me mention Steve a couple of times, and by Steve, it's Steve Bartlett, Stephen Bartlett on YouTube. And again, this is another fantastic one. He's a Manchester guy. He's you know, I can almost see from my sort of office window where his office is. It's just behind a building that I've got right there. Founder and CEO of Social Chain, huge social media agency globally. You know, they've got New York offices, they've got Manchester office, like I said, just over there, and I think we've got one in Berlin as well. And yeah, I mean, what to say about Steve Bartlett? I remember, I first heard about Stephen Bartlett when it was Theo, who's been on. You've heard me mention Theo a few times. The guy I helped to go meet Gary Vaynerchuk back in January, February. Theo said to me, "Oh, you need to check out Steve Bartlett. He's doing some really cool stuff on YouTube." And this was when Steve, I think he had about 300 subscribers, and I think he was on his 5th, maybe 20th vlog that he done. And this was before he was doing daily. He was just like, he was doing vlogs, but not daily. His channel now is at 20. He's nearly at 28,000. In fact, he'll probably be at 28,000 by the end of the week. Absolutely blown up. And the thing is with Steve is his content is brilliant, and he now does daily content, daily vlog style episodes. He also throws in the odd different one. He's now running sort of like Everyday Entrepreneurs, which is like a podcast series where he gets to talk to, you know, he's done one with Gary Vaynerchuk. But again, you get to see young entrepreneur who works so incredibly hard go out there, and I mean, I'm jealous of both Gary and Steve because they both have a cameraman who can follow them around and document the journey. I don't have that luxury, sadly, but it just makes it fun. You get to see what he does every day, how he does what he does, the talks that he gives. Whilst if you're not into daily vlogs, and I understand you might think it's just following someone around, it isn't. You get, there's so much more than that with Steve. You know, that is a part of it. You see what he's up to, but you know, at some point in the day, he will stop and talk to you about something, or he'll film a conversation he's having with a fan that he's met or someone who's watched the channel, and the knowledge that he imparts, there's always value there somewhere. And it's one of those with Steve. I mean, I've learned things from Steve's channel. But I think it's also a case with Steve is that I find myself just agreeing with him. You know, I listen to his channel, I listen to his videos, and when he's like saying stuff like, yes, someone else who actually gets it, who knows, yes, this is what I think, it's fantastic. And I've yet to meet Steve. We've Snapchatted a couple of times. I've not met him in person. I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Like I said, he's largely in Manchester, so I'm sure he's a busy guy, but fingers crossed our paths will cross soon, because I think he should be a great person to, again, have a chat with and sort of get to know, and sort of, again, surround yourself with these sort of entrepreneurial people. Kevin on the chat saying, "I'll be your cameraman." I'd love it. I'd love it, Kevin. I genuinely would. I can't justify paying you, but yeah, yeah. So that is the downside, unfortunately, of not having a cameraman. But yeah, Stephen Bartlett, definitely go and subscribe. Probably one of the most underrated entrepreneur channels at the minute that I've found. So much value, so much wisdom, such a humble guy as well. And one video you must watch is the one where he talks about not losing twice. I did a sort of similar version of it after I worked, because I just felt so many people need to know about this. So I think I credited Steve in that video as well. But don't lose twice. That was one of the key ones that I really agreed with. Yeah, Steve Bartlett, go and check it out. And third and finally, it's Miles. And we met Miles you met Miles last week on the channel. We did the interview. Miles just is such a cool guy, and his, like I said, his channel on YouTube, again, links in the description. He is like, if you're coming to like internet marketing, entrepreneurship, Miles is the guy. And Miles currently is at 21,500 subscribers. You know, he's grown a big channel, and we talked about it in the interview last week, the podcast that we did, the chat. He started about a year ago, nearly a year ago, about 11 months ago, with 0, and in 11 months has grown a following of 21,000, 21,500. I'm sure it'll be close to 22, 23 by his 12 months. And yeah, I mean, there's so much value. I mean, just looking at some of the videos he's done, some of them have just blown up. Advertising on Facebook, learn how to advertise, 71,000 views. How to use Facebook's audience insights tool, 71,000 views. $5 Facebook ads, beginner and advanced FB advertising, 40,000 views. You know, he's like, if you're looking for like Facebook advertising tips and how to crush the internet marketing with like funnels and Facebook marketing and I mean, he talks about other things as well, lifestyle design, law of attraction. Definitely want to go and check out Miles's channel. And the one thing that I would say about Miles is he's incredibly humble when it comes to what he does, and he's more than, like I said, we had this discussion, his free stuff is better than most people's paid stuff, and I think that, you know, there's so much value. You really need to check it out. Darren Barker, I really don't see the value in social influences, and in the next few years neither will their big business, so hopefully Steve changes his business model. That's an interesting one, Darren, and thank you for commenting, by the way. I funnily enough, Darren, I do tend to agree with you. I was actually in a meeting about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Social Chain came up as a business, a social media agency, and what they do. And this person I was chatting with said exactly the same thing. You know, he said, you know, at the minute they have the audience, but they don't have technology yet. I believe they are working on it, but they don't have like a technology product or something like that, which is where most of value comes from. And I think Steve says he has like with his channels that he runs, he can have an audience of like 300 million, which is great. Absolutely get it. But like you said, Darren, I think, yeah, the social influencers and stuff, right now we're riding that wave of, especially with YouTube influencers and Instagram influencers. As soon as brands figure out how to do it themselves, you know, it's, where's the value anymore in the influencers? If they can control it themselves, they're going to. So I do tend to agree with you. But again, back on track. Miles, again, definitely need to go and check out that channel. I've learned so much from Miles's channel when it comes. I mean, I did online marketing. I do get it, but the stuff that Miles does with Facebook is incredible. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. Now, if you are watching this right now, what I want you to do, if you don't mind, is to leave me a comment down below. If you watch any sort of entrepreneur channels, or if you are an entrepreneur channel on YouTube, I want you to let me know down below, because there's sometimes, you know, sometimes you just need fresh content. You just want to see something new. And whilst I'm still a big fan of Gary, Steve, and Miles, you know, having something fresh in there would be greatly appreciated. I've tried looking for similar content. I've not always found either things that I like or people that I can sort of get on with. So again, if you're watching this, let me know who you watch down below. I'd love to hear, and I'd love to check them out. So with that said, that's pretty much the video for today wrapped up. They're my top 3 business YouTube channels that I do watch. And like I said, if go and check them out, and if you're interested, subscribe. I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't find value in the content that they put out there. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and like I said, I am genuinely interested. So the comment means a lot. If you, like I said, if you can share any channels or any, you know, influencers, Darren, please let me know. Like I said, I'd love to hear them and love to check out some new stuff. With that said, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next video. See you then.